You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast from Apathetic Enthusiasm.
In this episode, we're talking about 249 things, or 203. The manual fade. Hello, everybody. My name's Travis.
Hello, everybody. My name is Brandon, and welcome to Apathetic Enthusiasm. If you are wondering what this show is about, let me spell it out for you. APATHECENTHUSIASM. That's right. We're about apathetic enthusiasm, and we are here to bring you probably one of the most
podcast you've ever heard.
This is exciting. I am thrilled.
What we talk about, it's about the energy we bring as we discuss it, and that
we're thrilled.
The best.
Travis, we are thrilled to bring you some thrilling content today. But before we get started in this thrilling content, we want to talk about some thrilling housekeeping items. That's right. Go to twitter.x.com for apathusiast updates. Head over to Gmail at apatheticenthusiasmshow@gmail.com and send us your thrilling updates. Head over to Instagram, Apathetic Enthusiasm Show, whatever.
It's
updates.
It's apathetic_enthusiasm on Instagram.
Thrilling.
At this point, you know where to find us. Go to our website, apatheticenthusiasm.com. Go to YouTube, youtube.com/apatheticenthusiasm. Watch video versions when I post them, when they work, not like last week.
It didn't work. It didn't work. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a minute.
And then support our Patreon, patreon.com/apatheticenthusiasm. Big thanks to the patrons that continue to support us. For some reason, you seem to like this stuff. Who knows? Brandon, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Travis. Yeah. Oh man,
I got the obligatory how you doing in there.
You did. I have one of my coworkers. He bought a hat for himself recently, and the hat was too big for him, but it fit my head just fine. And here's why, Travis. It's the same way. Like if you bought a hat, it might be too big for you, but it would fit me fine because I have these locks, right? And so my friend Sal, he bought this hat. He's like, this is too big for me, but it looks good on you, and certainly it does. I look like an older. I finally look like a retiree.
Is it a fedora, Brandon?
It is. I can go. Let me go grab it.
It
you
really
keep talking.
is. You bought it.
How are you doing? You doing great?
All right. So this is the part of the show where Brandon leaves the podcast so that he can go fetch something from his house, and I'm left to banter and just fill time. So yeah, again, thank you so much for downloading this podcast. If you're new here, Brandon doesn't usually wear hats like this. Oh my gosh. Oh, if there was ever a reason to go to youtube.com/apatheticenthusiasm and consume the video version of this podcast, it's to take in the beauty, the refined sense of style that Brandon has wearing. Is that what are those called? Like Kanga hats?
I don't know. I'll be honest.
Are you supposed to wear that backwards and go on Def Comedy Jam?
Yeah. I'm most deaf. I'm going as most deaf for Halloween. I think I don't look half bad in it.
It doesn't look bad because you can pull off anything, Brandon. That's not the issue here.
That's not the issue.
It's the fact that it's like a plaid. The colors are not fully coming across due to the limited infrastructure I have in the hotel room that I'm still podcasting from. Is that a blue or is that more of like a black for the hat?
No, it's a more of a black. It's got black, yellow, and then like a red around the yellow. You can't really see the red.
Yeah,
much.
Almost like a plaid flannel pattern.
Yeah,
for the audio listener. And then again, try not to picture a baseball cap unless that baseball cap is covered in this flannel fabric.
Yeah, it feels like I should be like playing chess in the park.
Yeah. After everyone that's ever loved you has gone away, and the only people to keep you company are the pigeons.
And myself, like I take the hat off, I make a move, and I put the hat on, and I make another move.
Yeah, this is the back and forth of you playing.
There should be we should make a cartoon short about that, of like an old man.
Way too much work for either of us to take on right now in our busy schedules. Brandon, you mentioned chess. I want to ask you if you have seen, and this was just like a random video I saw scrolling on Instagram or something, but this was like an advanced version of chess where the chess pieces themselves were like half chess pieces, if they were cut vertically, right? And then they have like a little bit of a twist to them, almost to where they interlock. And so this version of chess, you start out with all the half pieces, but then you could move your pieces onto spaces that your other pieces occupy. So if you have a pawn at C6, I don't know, that sounds like a place that a pawn could be, and you move your knight into that space, it then combines with the pawn, and now you have like a half pawn, half knight that you can then move as a pawn or as a knight. I think you can also, I don't know if you can disconnect the pieces or not, and to like separate them. If that piece is taken, you lose both pieces. But it's like some advanced form of chess where, and then if your pawns get all the way across, then they can turn into queens and all this stuff. It's weird. It's like an advanced next level chess. I mean, I know you like chess. I know you went through, when you're not playing Ticket to Ride, you go through extended stretches where you're pretty into chess. Would you be interested in like an advanced or like modified version of chess like that, or are you purist? You're like, just give me them old pieces that I know and love.
I mean, I'm game. I'm game for just about anything, right? I'll play a different game here and there. I'd be interested to see it, right? I'm not gonna say no. If you come to my house in the middle of the night, it's like 2:30 in the morning. I hear like a rapping on the window.
Play a weird version of chess with me.
There's just like pebbles hitting my bedroom window, King! And Chelsea's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, it's Travis again. He wants to play another game. I'll do it.
I'll do it. I'm chess on Instagram. He's really excited about it.
Travis is here. Where's Sheena? He doesn't ever bring her. She's at Target.
Not this summer. Maybe we can get for our next 250 episodes another quadcast. Let's get our lives to podcast against their will. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. To answer your question, I would try it. It's not something I would seek out, but there's a ton of games on Board Game Arena that I want to try out. But you and I both know that half of the challenge there is, one, your phone not being conducive to some of these games, and two, some of these games look fun and they probably are fun, but different rule sets and complicate, like you have to go look it up and you're like, what am I doing? And so it takes like 2 or 3 games where you're like, oh, okay. But some of them are not interesting enough to want to suffer through multiple games.
Yeah, especially like Board Game Arena, you have the actual game mechanics themselves that you're trying to learn, but then on top of that, you're trying to learn how the website has modified like the actions to facilitate how the game is supposed to work in person in like a website. And many of the board games are just frankly very complicated. and when you're just like, hey, here's an invite to a game neither of us have ever heard of. And then like the how to play YouTube video is 48 minutes long. I'm like, oh, I don't know that this is going to go too well.
Not gonna happen.
We give
But
it
there
a
was
shot. We give it a shot.
There were a couple games like Wingspan that was like that was a pretty. We played through a couple of those games, like maybe like once or twice, and like it was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Like this is pretty easy to pick up.
Yeah. It also helps that I own that game, like a physical copy of it, and so I was able to play it multiple times in person. But you didn't play it before Board Game Arena. I don't think I don't think I did. No.
Yeah. You only bought it because I showed you the magic and the beauty of that game, and then you said,
I don't think
Brandon,
that's accurate.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for opening my eyes to a birdland that I'd never experienced before.
Have we talked about the new version of Wingspan?
Where it's like dragons?
Dragons?
It's like dragon.
Yeah. Wyvern span or something.
Yeah, it's got dragons and Maleficent and stuff like that.
Speaking of Maleficent, I'm not going to get right into Lorcana, but we'll get there. My son and I, a few weeks ago, we had been playing a ton of Lorcana, and I think it was right after the store championships where we both did not win.
Lost.
Yeah. And we were still wanting to hang out, wanting to play something, but we were like, you know what? We kind of need a break from Lorcana. So we picked up a game that I've had for a long time, but nobody's really ever wanted to give it the proper try to learn it. And it happens to be a game that's produced by the same publisher that makes Lorcana, Ravensburger, and that is the Villainous series of board games, right? So another Disney property that is spun out now into Marvel, and they have Star Wars versions of this game. But there are aspects of that game that are very similar to Lorcana in that it has a bunch of different cards in it. They're not necessarily trading cards, but you have different decks with... and it's not a deck building game. I don't really know how you would describe this game. You play individually. You have an individual sort of goal that you're trying to accomplish with your own little board, but at the same time, you are creating effects that slow down the other people playing from succeeding at their goal or whatever.
Oh,
anyway,
you're trying to stop other people.
It's competitive.
Kind of
it's competitive. Yeah, like it's not like
it's villainous.
It's villainous.
Get it? You're an antagonist to your fellow players.
The interesting thing about it is because you're playing as the villain, the thing like the bad guys in the game are the good guys, and so you have like this fate deck where every set has its own set of cards. So you play these fate cards on your opponent, and if they're playing as Captain Hook, then it's going to be all like Peter Pan characters, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, the Darling Children, all of like those are going to be the ones that are trying to slow them down. Yeah. It's fun. We played it successfully twice. All I'm saying is we finally got that game played. We finally learned how to play that game.
Travis, here's my problem with Villainous, right? What happened to society where we always have to relate to the bad guy? What are we, Angelina Jolie people now? Where like we have to watch a whole movie about the evil queen, but no, she's really good. What's going on with society now?
Have you watched that movie with Angelina Jolie, Maleficent?
Oh, that's what movie that is? I thought it was The Changeling we were talking about.
I don't know. I have not watched either of those movies.
I haven't seen it. But the second one, isn't she like it's like, oh, she's good, but she's not. She's bad, but she's good. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
It's kind of like Frankenstein,
Interesting point. It's actually Frankenstein's monster.
Well, I mean, Frankenstein is a surname, so really, since it's his, he creates him. Basically, it's his son. So why wouldn't
everybody,
he take?
Thanks for listening. We really appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week.
Anyway,
what are you doing when you're not excessively winning or excessively losing at Ticket to Ride? What are you doing in between those moments?
Do you want to talk about excessively losing a Ticket to Ride? Matt and I, so real quick aside here, Matt Sizemore and I play Ticket to Ride all the time on BGA, and I get tired of playing. Like, sometimes I just want to mess around. And so the other day, if you've never played Ticket to Ride, again, you have the US map. That we play the US one mostly now. You get different colored train cars, and you build these rails, but you also have destination cards. Each destination card is like from Los Angeles to Miami, and that might give you like 17 points, or Miami to Boston, maybe that's 11 points. Well, if you don't complete your destination, then you lose those points. Well, so the other day, Friday I think it was, I just start drawing destination cards, and I'm just drawing all of the destination cards, and Matt is like drawing 2 rail cards every time. He's just drawing the cards. I'm drawing destination cards.
Is he noticing at some point that you're drawing only destination cards?
No, he's like placing his rails. He's like, oh man, Brandon's not blocking me at all. That's kind of weird. And then he is like, it's like 10 cars left that he has to place. He's like, I just realized what you're doing. And so, yeah, I lost like negative 565 to 100.
It's a close game. It's a close game. What can you say?
It's close. And so at the end of the round on BGA, it takes your cards and goes like, you got that destination. Oh, you got that destination. Oh, you got that destination. Oh, you didn't get that one. Well, you take, basically there's about like 64 or so destination cards in the deck. So Matt and I just watch it go, nope, 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 nope. And like, I'm on my phone, he's on his phone, and we don't want to send each other a message on Messenger, because if we do, we'll lose sight of not this card, not this card, not this card. So then the next thing we did, once we realized that happened, we played again. I drew all destination cards, and he drew all the train cards, neither of us playing anything. And so he got up to like 104 of the railroad cards. I had all the destination cards. Guess what? I couldn't draw. I couldn't play. It gave me the option to pass, Travis. We broke the game. It was just like, look, just give it to the other player. He'll.
All right, we did not include this in the game design. Clearly, you win. You win. Just maybe find another game that you guys like. Like, that's.
If you don't like it, you don't have to play it. That's what's a message on the
pop-up screen that says, "Are you sure you don't have better things to do with your time?"
So fun. And then ever since then, I've beaten them every time. So, okay. What else have I been up to? I went to the dentist for the first time in like a year and some change.
Very nice. Good.
Yeah, I need a couple.
Do you enjoy dental procedures?
I don't enjoy. That's a strong word. But I do. I mean, I know
what you're into. We're still learning about each other, even after 249 episodes.
I'm not like Bill Murray in Little Shop of Horrors. I don't like want that torture.
Okay.
No,
right.
I'm okay. I'm okay with dentists. They don't make me nervous, but I'm. You know, like, I've got a lot of fillings in my mouth. I've got a metal mouth. But the dentist is like, yeah, these are all really old fillings, and you probably need to get new ones. And maybe a couple
all
crowns.
Your teeth and give you these wooden dentures.
And trying to push Invisalign on me because I have a deep bite. What a deep bite!
Can't wait. My second kid that had to get braces is almost done with theirs. I'm up next. I'm up next. I'm gonna
You gonna get braces?
get those Invisaligns. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, you got so I can call you Brace Face for the year that you've got.
You totally can. You totally can. Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Brandon and
That's
Brace
right.
Face. That's right. They're coming at you live.
So some housekeeping here. You can find me on Twitter, Braceface.
This episode brought to you by Invisalign. If you'd like to try your first, like they
First month free.
use the code AEPOD for $5 off your first aligners.
What if that were? Maybe I'll talk to my dentist again and be like, hey, if I have somebody using the code AEPOD and they come to you for Invisalign, can I get
Can we work out something get a deal?
$100? Just give me $100 out of the $50,000 that you charge for Invisalign.
Someone keeps trying to sign up for braces with the code Rick and Morty Pod. I don't understand what's happening.
Why? I don't know why I need a retainer with the code Wubba Lubba Dub Dub 2024.
We don't even have a space to put in a promo code. I really don't know how they're doing it. Yeah, get those aligners. The thing about Invisalign is the two people I've talked to that have used them, they really hurt when you first start because they're like starting to move your teeth, and your teeth are kind of like where they want to be. After that first like initial tray, your teeth are a little bit more like loosey goosey and ready to move around. So then each subsequent tray isn't as painful, maybe like the first day you wear it. But if you go a few days without having one of the aligners in, bam, you're back to pain city. So, but the flip side of it is if you have traditional braces, like every time they like adjust them and stuff or like tighten them, it hurts. So, my children's experience with braces have been far more positive with Invisalign than the other traditional metal braces. This message is my own opinion. These are not the thoughts of AE Pod or any of our contributors
or orthodontists.
Yeah. Please consult any orthodontist before having dental procedures done.
And use the code AEPOD for your first for free.
5% off your first set of trays.
So I did that. That was fun. Mother's Day was yesterday.
Oh, it was?
Oh no.
Oh no. I kid.
You kid. So one thing I did was I lithophanes. Have you looked into lithophane?
Oh, 3D printing lithophanes. Yes.
Yeah.
That was what I got. That's what I made Sheena for her birthday last year. Yeah. So I made a light box that had images of each of my kids on the three sides. And
that's
a
good.
family photo on the top, and then when you put a light inside, the whole box lights up.
I did the same thing for Chelsea. One with our each side was a different one of our kids. So really, I only had to print one side.
It was a one-sided box.
It was a one-sided box. So I was talking to some guy at work the other day. He's like, "Yeah, lithophanes." Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, really? How do you make that?" He's like, "Go to lithophanemaker.com." Like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, you just go there, you upload your picture, and then it gives you an STL." I'm like, "Oh." So I did a couple of those, and like, I'm
gonna
up the quality.
Put this
and
photo
they're
up.
cool,
yes,
man.
That's all my kids. Yes, but yeah, it's like not focusing. But anyway, that's basically what it is. Yeah, there you go. There's kids on a box. Kids on a box.
Kids on a box. I'll go ahead and do it. So, I'll show you.
I don't even
showed me yours.
lithophane. Hey, look at that.
Okay.
Look at that. Oh, that's it. Oh, that's a picture of it.
Yeah, that's a picture of it.
How did it
then up against the sun?
Oh, okay, yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
So you just have it where like she's just gonna carry it around in her pocket and hold it up?
No, I
to light.
I put it up against the. We put it up against the window.
Oh, okay, very nice.
The window when the light shines in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Did that.
It's good. I will say that the box that I printed was designed to have like a light bulb go into it, and like you had to like buy a light fixture. Still don't think I bought that light fixture. It's been at least 6 months.
One thing at a time.
I did buy a light fixture at Lowe's. It didn't fit.
One thing at a time.
I don't think I took that light fixture back. I don't think I went and got a refund on the light fixture. The important thing here is my follow through has not been great on this game.
True. No.
Yeah.
There's always lights. Tell you what. You asked me. It's changing the subject, Travis. I want to change the
gears,
subject,
if you will.
Yes.
We still have that Lorcana content coming up. Just making sure you guys know. All right. Back to shifting gears. What are you talking about?
Shifting gears. I don't remember if we talked about this last week, but I started this month. Maybe I talked about Drumeo last week. Did I
mentioned it? You mentioned it in passing. I don't think you had actually done it, but you talked about signing up for it. Yeah.
It started on Monday, so the Drumeo thing. So I'm like, let me work on. I hit my plateau, right? Talked about that. Let me get started. So the first day of drumming, it was like kind of like a simple beat, and it was just like, huh? Da, 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 with my left hand, like da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, all right. So it's like 10 minutes of doing that, just. And then the bass drum just on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay. 10 minutes of that. Like, and the instructor's like, that's pretty boring, but we're gonna build off of it. Okay. So the next day I go to work, I get out of the car, and I'm like, I lift up my laptop case with my left arm. I'm like, that's kind of sore. I'm like, huh. I guess I don't use my left arm enough when I'm playing drums. Well, that's great. So then every day that the beat gets a little bit more complicated, the same kind of concept of da 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 da, but then adding like then just like a snare, or not a snare, or a crash, or a floor tom or something like that, and then by like day 4 it's like adding the floor tom but like on a separate beat, and it's like it's like da 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 da, so da da da. Anyways, so it's like building off, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, oh god, okay, right arm, do this, and then so. And I'm like, by day 5, by Friday, I was like, okay, I've got this. What this basic rhythm is pretty good, and like I felt good about it. And then like I played just a little bit after the lesson, and I already felt a little bit looser around the drum set. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. This week. Saturday was like a Q&A, a live Q&A. I didn't attend that, and then Sunday was just like it's a free day. You don't actually, it's just a rest day. Well, today is now adding the left foot doing the hi-hat stuff, and I'm like, oh god. All last week I was like, this is hard enough. If you're gonna make me do I know you're gonna make me do the hi-hat eventually. Oh boy, here we go. That's today's lesson. So I'm kind of nervous about that, but it's gonna be so good by the time the 30 days are up, because I know I'm gonna be in a better space drum wise.
Is this strictly a 30-day course, or is this something that you could do beyond 30 days if you really enjoyed it and you've only signed up for 30 days?
It is a 30-day course, but I can go back and rewatch them, redo them different 30 days, go back to any lesson. So like, so for example, like the Wednesday session of last week, when it started throwing in the weird rhythm on the right hand, I went back before the day 4 lesson to like be like, okay, how do I do this? Like, let me make sure I got this going.
Revisit that skill before you try to build on it.
Yeah, and it's so weird how the brain works, and it needs that time in between days, especially if you're like trying to learn something new, because you could like spend an hour or 2 or 3 on like the same thing in a row. Like, I just want to get it. I just want to get it. Why can't I get it? And you're like, I'm almost there. And then a day later you come back and you're like, nailed it. Yeah. You know, it's like, it's so weird how that little bit of time makes a difference in your recovery.
It's weird, but the only thing I feel like I can really relate that to is learning different juggling like tricks. And like, I can't figure out how to do this, and then like a couple days later, all of a sudden you just got it. I mean, you got it, Travis. You got it. I got it. Regular old juggling guy. All right, cool. So you're drumming. Yeah, you're doing that. I'm not. I did. Okay, Lorcana talk. So here we go. I've talked a little bit about the store championships. We've talked at length about that. But that's the first sort of officially sanctioned Lorcana events that they were doing. But now, like, sort of the global competitive tournaments are starting this month with, I think there's like 6 locations in the United States and 3 or 4 in Europe. And winners from these events are going to go on to like regionals and then eventually like some sort of Lorcana championship event, right? So they're incentivizing people to participate with a lot of exclusive cards and different things like that. The very first tournament being this month in Atlanta. And I heard about it in advance, and my thought was, it's too far away from where I live. It's as much as I like the game, I don't feel inclined to like travel like significant distances, like get on a plane or drive all day in a car to go play cards. I wasn't there, and especially when I come in 14th in the store championship, like, come on. Like,
come on,
right?
Get real.
Fast forward to this weekend. And mind you, like, the event itself sold out almost instantly. And they even doubled the capacity for the Atlanta tournament, and that sold out. So to actually participate in the main event, it's sold out. But this week they added attendee tickets where you could attend the actual event, go watch, visit the different vendors, things like that. And then they have a bunch of other side events that are happening that anyone can participate, attendee or actual competitor. And it's only like $20 for a ticket. So I was like, because of me traveling now, me being away from home, I'm actually much closer to Atlanta than I would have been. And I'm going to be just hanging out alone that day. So, hey, I'm going to be going to the Atlanta Lorcana Challenge event in a couple of weeks. Maybe get in some of the side games. But mostly just to go check it out, see, just kind of see the event, see how it works. I've never been to like a tournament that size. So yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm curious. I do know some people from the game store that I play at back home that are actually, they have tickets to compete. So I may keep an eye out for them, see how they do. But yeah. So it was very much like a spur of the moment. Like, do I want to drive 2 hours? Yeah. Sure. What else am I going to do that Saturday? Why not?
I'm not competing. Screw it.
Maybe I'll join like a sealed tournament or something where they gave you just like 5 packs of unopened cards, and you have to build a deck out of the cards that you get and then compete with that deck. I feel like some stuff like that. They also have things called draft tournaments where everybody opens a pack, you pick one card and pass the packs, and then you keep pulling one card until you build your deck that way. Those sorts of events to me are very interesting because it's not necessarily pay to win, right? You can't guarantee that you're going to get the best cards just by going online and buying them. You kind of have to work with what you're given. And in that regard, that really, I think, increases the level of you really have to understand the game and how to play it, and not necessarily just have the best cards. So, not that it's all just buying the cards, because there's definitely people with good decks that can lose, and I don't know. Anyway, so that's my big stories. I'm doing another road trip from this road trip.
With any game, there's luck and a little bit of strategy, a little bit of skill. You know, some games are more. You know, Board Game Arena breaks these things down pretty good, right? The skill, strategy, luck, and complexity. You know, like some games like Can Tokyo, there is strategy, sure, but there's also a significant amount of luck because you're still just rolling dice. You know, that's luck. It's interesting. You talk about going down to Atlanta. When I was down there for school in Alabama, Dragon Con was down there, and I was like, "Don't want to go to that." I did not have Zoloft at the time. I did not. I stayed in my room.
Talking about a different version of practice. Would you do that now, putting yourself back in this situation and been like, "Oh, I'll drive a couple hours, check that out."
Yeah, if I was by myself in there in a hotel room for a couple weeks, and I'm like, yeah, I'd probably do that. What I ended up doing when I was down there was had the AMC pass, and me and buddy went to see We went to go see movies all the time, like sometimes like 2 or 3 in a row, just because we're like, oh well, got nothing else to do.
It is very strange to go from being in an environment where you live in a house with 5 people and a dog, and everybody has different priorities and things going on and things to do. And even like your downtime, it can be busy because people have different things that are going on, and you're driving kids around. So, and then to be taken out of that environment and being like by yourself in a what is essentially like a studio apartment.
You know what's strange? Like this last weekend, I went to Toyota. I took my my car to the Toyota dealership for its 6-month checkup.
Yeah,
and it was. They said I got there. My appointment was 8:30. I got there at like 7:30 because I whatever. Let me just go ahead and I was awake already. I'm like, let me just go ahead and take it there early. Just get started on it earlier so I can be out of there earlier. And they're like, yeah, it's gonna be like an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most. I'm like, oh, cool. So 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. I get the car back by like 10:30, almost 11. I'm like, okay, that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is, there's right down the road is a Black Bear Diner, and it's maybe like 2 blocks away, right? And I'm like, he said like an hour and a half. I was like, I could probably just walk down there, have breakfast, have some coffee, read the paper, look at my phone, stuff like that.
Ranch.
Yeah, they're bacon ranch. It's homemade. And I was like, it's only gonna be an hour and a half. I'm not gonna go. But so I didn't go. Instead, I waited there far too long. But the fact that I thought to myself, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll just go have some breakfast by myself. Is a different feeling that I know I've ever had before.
Once we get into the post show or beyond, I'm very curious to talk about some other details about pre-Zoloft Brandon with you, get some more insights. But I to a degree, I'm with you in terms of like the idea of going to an event with thousands of people, centered around a community that, while I do feel a part of, because I have now been very interested in Lorcana for half a year almost, I don't feel like an outsider to that community, but at the same time, I have not grown up or spent, decades of my life involved in trading card games. There's still a lot of aspects about how these events work and things like that I'm not fully familiar with. But the reality is, even if I go, I just kind of like walk around the convention floor for a while, maybe say hi to a couple of people that I know, and just like watch some people play. Like, that's better than sitting in this room for 6 hours. Like, I wonder if anything else is on Netflix. Maybe I'll try HBO Max, see if there's a movie on that one.
It's just, it's not depressing necessarily. It's just we go from hubbub to no bub, and it's just like, I guess I'll go to the store and grab some fruit cups. Stock up my mini fridge.
Gotta stock up the mini fridge. You never know when you're gonna be hit with a snack attack.
That's right. Yeah. And that's when I was in school there. That's when I did my month of vegetarianism, and so like some of my time was like, let's see, what do I need to stock my fridge up with to make sure I maintain this vegetarianism?
Let me get as many vegetables as possible.
No pasta. Not too much pasta, because that'll make you fat. Bread makes you fat.
Yeah,
things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm definitely not doing the vegetarian thing while I'm here. I'm really not.
That's good.
I think a lot of people that come out here try to like, they're gonna be extra healthy, or they're gonna get back in shape or something, because it's like 5 or 6 weeks outside of their normal routine, so they're gonna like mix things up. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go work out 3 or 4 times a week. I'm still gonna buy some ice cream. Like, I got a box of cookies in here. Like, I'm not gonna not eat cookies. Like,
I'm still gonna snack attack.
Snack attack is happening. I definitely still have local beers at the ready, like as needed. Right. So, yeah.
That does remind me, Travis. I did last week. I ran with my friend Justin near my house, about a mile and a half, a little less than a mile and a half.
Okay.
And this week he's like, "We're gonna run again." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And like, we'll run over at your house this time. And his house is more hilly, and surprisingly, we ran like 2.4, and a little bit faster than we ran the near my house, which was mostly flat.
Yeah.
And so that's the Brandon ran 2 weeks in a row minute.
That's exciting. That's good. Last month, it's only been like 3 weeks. They had this year's version of the marathon that I had run the year prior, and I was watching the coverage on TV, just like, it's been a year. I'm starting to feel like the itch. It's also like the 25th anniversary of that event next year. So now I'm like, maybe I'll sign up for a half. Maybe I'll sign up for a half. Let's not do anything crazy. But I do, in hindsight, looking back on last year, as much work as it was, as time consuming as it was to do all the training for it, the motivation of having that event that I was signed up for to be the difference maker between me deciding to just sit on the couch and snack attack versus no, I need to train. I signed up for this event. I made a commitment. I'm gonna go do the miles. I'm gonna put on the shoes. I'm gonna get out there and run. I don't know what that says about me as a person or about my personal discipline or whatever, but like the desire to get up and go out and run for the sake of running or health, like, which arguably, like, yes, the health benefits and cardiovascular benefits are better than a medal that you get at the end of an event, right? But something psychologically about that, I'm more inclined to go and work for an event than I am just for the sake of the workout.
Yeah, it's setting up an actual goal for you, right? There's some things you don't need to have a goal for. You want to do it because you're motivated to do it, right? And there's other, like, for me, I don't need a half to want to run. Like, I just want to run because I know that I don't want to get fat. that's what I have body issues. So I don't ever want to be fat.
My snack attacks are not helping me in that category.
But then there's other things like talk about like I was learning Python a year and a half ago, and I was motivated to do it. And I was like, but what am I actually learning this for?
Yeah.
What is the point of this? What's the goal of this? So the kiddo, he's in coding. Next semester he's going to go into a game designer class, and so helping him with Python, like, Now I have a goal because there's like an academic thing to it. Like I'm helping the boy. I'm learning so I can help him out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and Chelsea's going to school right now, and I like helping her in school. Kind of a nerd. So I'm like,
oh, nerd, really?
And I'm like, I kind of want to go to school. Like I thought about going to class with Chelsea in the same classes, but they're during my work time, so that's not going to happen.
That would complicate it.
But I was like, she's like, can you help me with this? I'm like, hell yeah, I can help you write 500 words about the Reconstitution period and the rise of the KKK. I'm down with that. That sounds fun to me.
What kind of school is she going to?
It's a history class, general education.
Okay.
U.S. history.
Got it. Well, then maybe I should send you my work that I'm doing for school.
No, I don't want. No, this is easy because they're like discussion posts, and it's easy for me to be like, there's no APA formatting for discussion posts.
This is fair. It's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing quite like re-entering an academic environment to get you thinking about how long it's been since you've been in an academic environment, and how different the way you think and the way you construct ideas and the way you communicate things kind of happens in an academic environment versus traditional, workplace sort of stuff like that. So it's a bit of divergent thinking, really, if you talk about it. Yeah. Anyway,
set the temp. That's what I always say.
Set the temp. That's what they say. It's my personal leadership slogan. Set the temp.
And your personal toxicity trait is noticing when embossed
people
letters
install letters upside down on signs.
Chelsea and I were talking about. I told her about that, and she's like, "I saw that somewhere recently, and I don't know who I was talking to." But I was like, those ends are upside down. I'm like, where was that? Because
I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it.
Can't unsee it. The flat part is not supposed to be on the bottom. It's supposed to be at the top. Serifs.
In the serifs. Please, don't get me started on the serifs. We'll be here all night. Media roundup time. In terms of things that I've been watching other than my Oklahoma City Thunder just absolutely getting embarrassed by the Dallas Mavericks, which is happening as we speak. I did watch a movie this week. It's a movie that's been out a long time called The Iron Claw. Did you watch this movie?
I haven't.
Yeah, it's depressing. Like it's just a really kind of sad story. I'm based on a true story about
A wrestler. Right?
a family of wrestlers who have like 4 of their 5 sons all die in some way, shape, or form. Sorry to spoil it. It's been out for a minute. But yeah, I don't know. It was well done, like a period wrestling movie. I don't know, like Zac Efron has like quite the wig in this movie. It is something. But it was an interesting film. I didn't dislike it. I thought it was pretty good. I watched a lot more John Mulaney's Everybody's in LA. Did you check it out? Did you?
Nope.
You didn't watch a single episode? All right, appreciate you, Brandon.
Negative. Nor did I watch the Tom Brady roast.
Yeah, I only watched clips of that. I'm not a roast guy.
I'm not a roast guy. Not a roast guy.
Not a roast guy.
We're not roasters.
We're not roasters. But yeah, I think that's been about it. Yeah.
Well, the 2 things that I watched, we watched Nimona on Saturday. Not sure if you've seen it. It's a Netflix animated movie, and it's a futuristic. It takes place in the future, but it's like an alternate future where like knights in like medieval knights continue to their technology improved over time, right? And so it's kind of like a futuristic feel. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was pretty good story. Chloe Grace Moretz, whatever. She's in it as kind of like a shape-shifting being. Pretty good. I recommend it. Pretty damn funny.
On Netflix?
And then yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then over on Shudder, Joe Bob Briggs, they watched for their slasher size themed night. They watched a movie called Death Spa, and it takes place in a health spa that is kind of haunted. There's some kind of murder mystery going on. It's not a great movie, but I enjoyed it.
Okay. So there you go.
Joe Bob gives it 3 stars.
There's our media consumption for the week. Yeah, if you have other things you think we should watch, feel free to let us know on all of our social platforms. I think that's about going to do it for this yet another successful episode of Apathetic Enthusiasm. The next time you hear us, we will be celebrating our 250th episode of this podcast. It's crazy to think that has happened. that we have been at this that long. Thank you, everybody. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll come up with some interesting things to talk about. Maybe look back on some past episodes, things like that. So if you have a favorite moment from the last 248 episodes of Apathetic Enthusiasm, share that with us over apatheticenthusiasmshow@gmail.com, or leave it a comment on this video, and maybe we'll include that as part of the celebration. That's it. That's all that I have. Brandon, I leave you with the final thought.
I just want everybody to know the seasons there are changing, and Trump is being tried in New York. And Michael Cohen
on this podcast. It's finally
Michael. Last week, Stormy Daniel took the stand. This week, Michael Cohen took the stand. And for all of your Trump trial information, head to X. Check out Tyler McBrien. We're doing live.
Maybe that's why I'm not on X anymore. Yeah.
Okay. No, but seriously, hey, everybody, have a wonderful week. And we will talk to you next time.
That podcast was great until about the last 5 minutes. There, 400 or 249. All right, bye.
Check out Trial of the Century.